Hi, muses. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. I thought I would share with you a devastating loss that we've had here at Dryad Homestead. I debated whether or not to make a video like this because it's still really new and it hurts. I'm still, Richard and I are still really dealing with the loss. But I thought it was important to make a video about the realities of homesteading, and I don't know, maybe this might help somebody else. I mean, we're still absolute newbies. We've been on this property for a year and a half now. I was gardening for 3 years before that in suburbia, in our house in town, and a year and a half ago we bought this property. It's 3 acres, and started homesteading. If you're new to the channel, if you're not, then you know this whole saga because it's unfolded on video. But last February, so February 2023, I had ordered some new chicks. I've got, let's see, 9 hens and a rooster already down there, and I just thought that, I mean, those guys are about a year and a half old, so I thought it would be nice to add some baby chicks, and I did make a video about that. I've made several videos about the chicks. And anyway, they are 10 and a half weeks old now. But last night something happened, and this was a complete newbie mistake. I knew this was a possibility, but I thought we were taking precautions, and obviously it didn't work. It didn't happen. Anyway, last night between, I don't know, probably about 1 o'clock and 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, our brooder that we had the baby chicks in back here, it was the old duck coop that my husband made, Richard made last year. We turned it into a brooder, and it was perfect brooder out here. It's perfect size under this beautiful tree for shade and protection, very close to the house, so I can keep an eye on them. Worked out great. For the last chickens that we had, our first chickens that we got, I bought one of those giant warming plates for the chicks to go under to keep warm, because I knew that the lights that could present a problem. The heating lamps could start a fire. I talked to people who had that problem, and I saw videos online, so I knew that it could be a problem. Well, last night here in Indiana, it's been freezing at night. Last night it got into the low 30s, and we had the warming plate on, but at 10 and a half weeks old, baby chicks are teenagers, and they don't want to go under the warming plate even on the highest setting. They were already roosting. And so we left the heating plate down there, at least for maybe the silkies would want to go under there, at least they could still fit. But we had a light on to keep the other ones warm. I know 32 degrees probably isn't devastatingly cold for chickens, but making a newbie mistake and being from Southern California, 32 degrees is freezing. It is cold to me. And I should have just realized that chickens that are feathered are not going to have a problem like a human would outside. But I worried and worried and worried, so we turned on a heating lamp, a light last night. It was secured to the ceiling of the coop pretty well. I mean, it was screwed in, and we didn't think that anybody could knock it off, let alone it fall. Well, it was because we're pretty close to the house here, so I could keep an eye on the babies, and it's plugged in. It was plugged into an extension cord, which is plugged in right to the house here, and it's on the same circuit as our bathroom electricity. And when I got up this morning at 3:15 to go to the bathroom, I noticed that the breaker was tripped. So I got Richard up because I knew that meant that the babies didn't have any heat, and I was worried about them because it was very cold. So he came out, he got dressed and came out, and the coop was totally gone, burnt to the ground. Luckily the tree is okay. It's scorched all the way up to the top, and the trunks, the trunk of the tree is scorched, but the tree is okay. But the coop and all of my baby chicks are gone, and it burned everything. Like, nothing was left except for the tin roof and the hinges for the doors and the window and the locks. It was a very secure, I've shown it on this channel before. It was a very secure coop. Nothing was getting in. But by the time he got out here at 3:15 in the morning, it was completely burnt down to the ground. Nothing left. So I'm sorry. I'm really tired. We didn't get much sleep after that, or any sleep after that. And it was it's such a great loss. And I debated whether making a video like this, because I'm sure a lot of people, you know, the more experienced homesteaders or just people who want to be jerks are gonna say a lot of bad things. But I just block people. I don't care. If you're gonna be an asshole, I'll block you. But anyway, I think it's important to share the losses and the real stuff that homesteaders go through. I was feeling pretty good because we've never lost a chicken. Our livestock is chicken. Like, eventually we'd like to get some goats, maybe some other stuff in the future, but we need the infrastructure for that first. But I was feeling pretty proud that we never lost any of our chickens to predators, and I thought we were doing a pretty good job. But we made this rookie mistake, and my chicks paid for it with their lives, and it is a devastating loss. I mean, these chicks, these are my pets, you guys. I know I'm a homesteader, and I'm supposed to get used to this. Eventually, we're going to, hopefully in the future, be able to raise meat animals. But these chickens are just for eggs, and they're my pets. I spend the afternoons out here talking to these chicks and feeding them watermelons. They love watermelons. and they were my pets. So this is a huge loss. What I would do differently is absolutely, definitely not have a light. I would keep the warming plate there, of course, because it's very safe. But the light, I guess I just wouldn't worry so much about them being cold. They were fully feathered. They're 10 and a half weeks old. They had all their feathers. They were already roosting. I was just overreacting, thinking they were going to be cold, and that's the price that they paid for my miscalculation. Do I think that this lifestyle is worth it? Yes, 100%, totally. I've had some problems over the we've had some issues over the last year and a half. We got that dump truck load of horribly contaminated compost, which ruined last year's. I wouldn't say ruined. We did get some harvest last year, but it really took a toll on the harvest last year. This year we had the absolute crazy spring snowstorm and floods that took out half of my in-ground garden. That was pretty sad. I was pretty sad. This year we had a lot of problems with germination. I would say 2/3 or maybe more of everything I planted did not even germinate. And what did germinate grew to about this big and just stopped. We did get a harvest. We got lots of tomatoes, and at the end of summer we finally started getting peppers. We got kale, so we got lots of green beans. So we did get a harvest this year, despite the setbacks. But it just got me thinking that choosing this lifestyle is not going to be just rainbows and unicorns all the time. And I knew that coming in, but it didn't really hit me. I mean, even when I lost half my garden in the spring, it didn't really hit me until last night when I lost those chicks. And then it really hit me. So, but I think this kind of lifestyle, and I think being self-sufficient, and I think all of the things that go along with it, learning skills like baking bread, like growing, preserving food, I think it's super important. So much of our culture has completely lost that knowledge and that ability, and I think that it's going to be coming in handy in the near future. But not only that, but this kind of lifestyle just lends itself to less stress. I'm not caught up in the news. I'm not caught up in, I don't know, gossip or whatever, conspiracy theories, whatever. I don't have the time or the effort to get into that kind of crap, because I'm more focused on being more self-sustaining, being kinder to the earth, being a good steward of this land that we are very blessed to have. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, there are losses. Yes, there are even devastations. But what else are you going to do? Pack up and move back to the city, or pack up and move back to the town where you're dealing with the noise pollution and light pollution and crime and who knows what else. So much busyness to involve your mind that it makes people physically and mentally and emotionally sick. No, I'd rather be out here. I would rather be out here in the quiet and the fresh air, and knowing that I'm building skills. I'm far from being any kind of expert at all, but I'm building the skills. I baked my first loaves of homemade bread yesterday, and it turned out okay. It could be better, but I finally got my sourdough starter to work. Finally. So I'll be making sourdough in the future. To me, I think that it's important that I learn these skills, and I enjoy them. It's a lot less stressful than being in the rat race, commuting 2 hours a day to go to a job that you hate, to come home to pay for a house that you never get to live in because you're never home. I'd rather have this simple, self-sustaining lifestyle where I'm closer to nature, closer to Mother Earth, and building resiliency for when awful things like this happen. I'm building resiliency. I will always have a tender heart, of course, always, for my animals, always. That will never go away, but the thought that it's impossible to do this kind of living, the thought that it's impossible for me to live this kind of lifestyle, I'm building resilience against that. I'm building resilience against just quitting and going back to a mundane life that I didn't like. So I guess this is a bit rambly. I don't really know what else to say except that check your lights if you're going to use lights. I'm hoping that in the future, when we have the infrastructure, because now we have to we have to build a whole new coop, a brooder and a coop, but that's way into the future, next year sometime. I hope that I can find some better technology for cold, because it does get cold here, you guys. This is Indiana. It does get cold here, and I hope that someday I'll be able to tell whether it's like actual cold for the animals, or it's just me being a Southern Californian freezing my ass off in Indiana. I guess that just comes with more experience. So I hope to find a better heating solution in the future, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, and being a pagan, a witch, I will be doing a little, I don't know, it's a ceremony or a little offering for my baby chicks. And I'm thanking the tree that had saved it a couple of times from a hawk, because the branches were right over the yard, and it kept the aerial predators out. I will be thanking my tree, making an offering, and doing a little ceremony for my baby chicks. Anyway, I use this. I hope you guys are having a better day, and please leave a comment below if you would like to, I don't know, give me some advice. Please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. I hope you enjoy this wild ride with my writing and my homesteading and everything else I do. We are almost halfway through NaNoWriMo, and I got sick in the beginning of the month. I was really bad allergies, so I'm already behind, but I am going to go catch up. I'm going to brew a pot of tea, do some meditating, get back on track, and hopefully I can get my words in today. So happy November, happy NaNoWriMo, and I hope you're doing better than I am. I'll see you later. Bye.